Dr. Anthony Harper here, blessed to be here with Traci Ebenezer. There are a lot of issues that are impacting children. And Traci, I know that you have concerns about children that impact masks are having on them. But first I was curious about how you got concerned about this as a mother and, your concerns about school and the impact this is having on your children.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me a voice here and being concerned about this. I have two children that are school aged. And in the beginning of this whole pandemic, the rationale behind masking the kids was not to protect the kids necessarily because they're not at high risk group, but it was more to protect the possibly vulnerable staff and teachers that might be elderly or have, pre-existing conditions and things like that. So as schools started to open, private schools first and then public schools, and then the vaccine became readily available in Virginia, and most of the teachers were vaccinated. Pretty much any teacher who wanted to be vaccinated has had that opportunity. Our governor lifted the mask mandate off of virtually everyone except school age children. K through 12 settings are still mandated. I take huge issue with that. First of all, like I said, all the at-risk teachers that want to be vaccinated can be. And children, unfortunately it's been shown, there's been lots of studies and tons of stories from other mothers of their children suffering, different physical ailments, and health ailments, as well as social emotional issues with wearing masks, 6 to 10 hours a day, depending on if they stay after school for a program. Me personally, I have seen my children's health decline this year, especially my daughter. I have seen, my kids have headaches every single day. They have had stomach aches. They've had extreme fatigue. I've noticed I don't know if you want to call it depression, but they used to be really happy kids, and I've just seen their mood drop quite a bit from this year, and I've attributed it to the masks. As soon as I drop them off in the morning, and then they seem fine, and then when I pick them up from school, they tell me how tired they are, how much their head hurts, and I've even had teachers call me at home and say, your child is laying on the floor exhausted, they can't get up. I've taken them to doctor's appointments. They've been tested for all kinds of things, and haven't found anything else. And when I heard from other mothers, similar things, similar ailments, I've seen mothers have sent pictures of their children having just rashes all over their face from the masks. It's gotten worse as the temperature has risen in Virginia. Last week it was around 90 degrees, and the feels like temperature was near 100. And a lot of these kids are being asked to wear them outdoors when they're playing with their friends and exercising. And we need to put an end to it. That's all there is to it. We need to put an end to it. This is not a red versus blue issue. It's not a political issue. This is really freedom versus tyranny, in my opinion. They're trying to control with these masks, and I care about my kids' health too much to just sit anymore and let that happen.
Yeah, it's a very serious concern about a lot of information about the impact that the masks are having on people's health. I've heard that from many people, and I know that's a very serious concern. But we think about the child's development in school. It's a great impact on them. So something needs to be done, and that's why you're involved, and you have a campaign to get the word out. Explain more about how this campaign was started for you to be able to get people involved.
Yeah, so I really am not the person that normally does this type of thing. I feel like I've sort of been activated this year as a mama bear. When my kids are suffering, I feel like I have to do something. And I know that there's a lot of parents like me out there who feel, helpless, that they don't know what to do. And so the first thing I thought of, I was actually inspired by California. That's where I'm from originally. And the people, we the people in California fought back against their governor and his COVID restrictions. And it was just decimating the state in lots of different ways. And they got over 2 million signatures to recall Newsom, and that election will be happening. So if it can happen there, it can happen in Virginia. There's power in numbers. So I started a petition to petition the governor, because a lot of these schools, even that want to not require masks, feel like they're going to get shut down if they don't comply. So really has to change at his level. And so I petitioned Governor Northam to end the mask mandate immediately on children. There is, I said in the petition, and we'll link it below, but I said it's just not science-based. There's not a huge risk of COVID for children. The teachers can be vaccinated. I mean, our kids are, more likely to be killed by lightning or in a car accident than COVID. And honestly, the solution can't be worse than the problem. So I want him to lift it immediately. And even further than that, since I started this campaign, I've reached out and talked to other like-minded mothers in different states. And I spoke to a woman in Iowa who was there were children getting staph infections from wearing masks all day. And by the way, you can get a medical exemption, but the way that the kids are treated when there's a medical exemption varies greatly depending on the school. I know kids are ostracized, they're bullied by teachers, they're kept apart from all the other kids and teachers if they have a medical exemption. So that's not a viable option. Honestly, we need to end this on all the kids. And basically, I'm asking to give parents a choice for the health of their children. So I really want parents to get involved. I feel like every parent can do something, even if you're really busy. It takes 30 seconds to sign the petition. It takes 10 seconds to hit share. And if you have a couple minutes, I started a Facebook group. You can join the Facebook group. And I even write letters, and other parents write letters that you can use as a template. I provide the links of how to send a letter to the governor's office, how to send a letter to the Department of Health. They need to hear our voices and know that we're concerned about our kids. They need to put an end to this now, because if we don't put an end to it now, first of all, it's getting really hot in Virginia. And a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these schools and summer camp programs, they're taking this to mean it's very confusing to a lot of them. And even my child's school has reached out to the Virginia Department of Health about a health exemption, and they can't even answer the questions of the school about what that means for the child. So we need to end it now. They shouldn't be in masks this summer. They certainly shouldn't be in masks in the fall. So I really want every parent to do something. Write a letter, send an email, make a phone call, share the petition, join the Facebook group. Just get together with other parents near you who agree with you. And Virginia Beach, by the way, has done an amazing job at this. They have their own Facebook group, Unmask Our Children Virginia Beach, I think it's called. And they've been at school board meetings, and they're really making their voices heard. So I'd love to do that all over Virginia.
So you have a website or a place for people to sign up to sign this petition?
Yeah, so we have a petition on change.org with, I think, around 1,200 signatures already. And we have a Facebook group, Unmask Our Children in Virginia, that we just started. We have, I think, 150 people so far that have joined us there. But I really want to get the word out. I know that they're fighting this battle all over the United States. That one parent I was telling you about in Iowa, she not only petitioned the governor to remove the mask mandate, a lot of states like Florida and Iowa, Texas, they've actually been passing laws to prohibit any school from mandating it, even the private schools. So I would love to see Northam do the right thing and do that in Virginia and pass a law or legislation that would prevent that on the kids. So yeah, join the Facebook group, get involved, sign the petition and share it. Those would be great starting points for everyone.
Yes, I've heard from various sources about this great impact on mental health, and especially you think about children in their developing stage, how much they need a healthy development, and this is stifling them. Very serious concerns. I know that not only you have, but there's so many others, and So thank you for sharing, Traci, and people can sign the petition. They can check you out online and through, as you mentioned, the Facebook page.
Mhm.
And so thanks for sharing. And anything else you would like to share, Traci?
No, I hope and pray that everyone from all walks of life and any parent who cares about the health of their children would support choice in this for the kids and the parents, and just get involved somehow. I know everyone's super busy. I feel like that's part of how we got to where we are, is everyone just keeps hoping that it'll get better and go away. But everyone needs to get involved and take action somehow. So if that just means signing it and sharing it, great. If that means getting together with a few parents locally, that would be even better. So, and please, anyone reach out to me who would like to get involved more. I know it's really tough and everyone's situation is different, but if for some reason this doesn't work, this petition doesn't work before fall, and they mandate the mass in the fall, I would say there's power in numbers and money talks. And as a former educator, I can tell you that they need kids at school in order to get paid from the state. And if a large number of parents just said, we are not sending our kids to school until this changes, and refuse to comply, they would listen. I feel like if that comes to that, I really hope that everyone would commit to doing that. I've heard a lot of talk in New York right now about parents on both sides of the aisle just saying, you know what, enough is enough. And if we have to, we will keep our kids home. We will keep our kids home until it changes. If it doesn't change, we will homeschool. We will find some other way of taking care of our kids because their health is too important to us. So I'd really like to make that call to action for parents to commit that they're willing to do that if it comes to that. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we can start our school year and everyone will be healthy and happy, and the kids would be so excited to not be wearing masks. I know my kids would be so excited for that. But I would just hope that everyone would commit to doing that.
Well, thank you, Traci. We do pray for the health of children and the parents. This COVID-19 has had a great impact on the mental health of children and the whole family. So hopefully we get down to the bottom of this and get this good resolution very soon. So thank you, Traci, for sharing.